Hey there, planners. Today I want to talk about 5 functional pages or spreads that you should have in your planner system. Whether you're using a bullet journal or a pre-printed planner or your digital planning, doesn't matter. These 5 pages are functional spreads that you should have no matter what your planner system. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. All right, I'm going to share with you today the 5 planner pages that I have in every planner, no matter what type of planner I'm using. And you guys know, if you've been around this channel for long, I use every type of planner system there is. I rotate through them. I use pre-printed planners. I use digital planning, bullet journals, all kinds of forums and formats. These 5 pages show up continuously in every one because, to me, they are the most functional, most necessary, bare bones skeleton framework of your planning system, no matter what planner you're using. So I'm going to be sharing those with you today. Before I dive right in, I do want to say welcome to those of you who are new to Planning Annie. Here on this channel, we are planner enthusiasts. We love our planner systems. We love getting things done. We love being productive, and we love prioritizing the most important things in our lives. We also love the creative outlets of journaling and stationery and planning supplies. So if that sounds like something you enjoy too, we do hope you'll consider subscribing and becoming a permanent part of our community. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you here. Everyone hop down in the comments below and give me your thoughts and questions. I would love to hear your ideas. What are the top functional pages in your planner system? What do you set up in every planner, no matter what type of planner you're using? You always make sure you have in your system. So I'm going to start with mine, and I'm going to start with my number one most important thing, and that is a future log. Now, if you're not familiar with the concept of a future log is a term that comes from bullet journaling and writer Carol's book and system of bullet journaling. Basically, it is a place where you capture things that are going to happen in the future. And I know you're probably thinking, well, duh, but it's really important to have this in your planner system. If you're using strictly a bullet journal, which is just a blank notebook that you turn into your planner, you need a place to be able to capture things that are going to happen in the future. I have this set up in this way where I have months listed across the top of the page and things that are going to happen in those months, and I have it all the way through the end of this year. And I list out things that are going to happen in those months. As I migrate to a new planner, fill up this planner, and start to use a new one, I will set this spread up first thing. The other tool that I use is a Google Calendar because I do not live in a vacuum all by myself. I have family members and work events and things like that. So I keep a Google Calendar and I share that with my immediate family members, and we all add our items in there. So one of the ways that I populate my calendar and know what's going on is to look at that Google Calendar and make sure appointments and events and vacations and travel and work stuff and all of that is populated on that Google Calendar. So no matter what type of system, if you're using a pre-printed planner, great, you already have the months. Just flip ahead to the month and make sure you're capturing it. That's the key to use the future log. But in order to have a highly functioning, productive planner system, you've got to know what's happening in the future, and you've got to have a place to capture things that are down the road. All right, the second most important spread that I always set up in every planner is a reoccurring task list. So what are reoccurring tasks? These are the things that you have to do over and over again with some regularity on a timed basis. For example, I need to do laundry once a week. I build up enough dirty clothes that once a week I need to wash my dirty clothes. I also need to take my dog to the vet once a year. I need to change the filters in my HVAC system in my home every quarter. Need to change the batteries in the smoke alarm seasonally, right? So there are just these activities that we have to do on a regular basis. Sometimes they can be daily, sometimes they can be weekly or monthly or even quarterly or yearly. And they are also the type of things that we can forget because they seem like unimportant, menial, repeating tasks, so we can forget them. In my planner system, I always have a page set up titled Reoccurring Task, where I list out by the time frame what I need to do on what regularity. So on a monthly basis, I need to have my dog groomed. I need to give him his heartworm meds. I need to track my income and paydays. I need to tithe. I need to monitor the subscriptions that I have that arrive on a monthly basis. I need to monitor my daughter's volleyball schedule. On a weekly basis. I need to meal plan. I need to do the laundry. I need to check the mail. I need to set my planner up for the next week. On an annually, quarterly basis, I need to pay taxes. I need to refill a prescription, make sure I have my dentist appointment, my dermatologist appointment, change the HVAC filters, all of that stuff. So I write this down in every planner that I have because I will come here and check when I'm looking at the week ahead or the month ahead or the quarter ahead. I will come here and check and make sure I'm pulling these items into my most current to-do list. I also like to update these lists on a regular basis about once a quarter. I make sure these lists are still accurate because things change. Maybe something, maybe I get a cat and now I have cat appointments in addition to dog appointments. Maybe we have moved or I have a new job and that means something else with travel, or so that life changes. Coming back to this and updating this on a regular basis is really important. And it's really important to make sure that you don't lose sight of those regular reoccurring activities that just are the management of life. And so that is another one of my most functional pages in my every planner that I have. All right, my next most functional page that I have in every planner is very similar to the previous one, and that is a trigger list. This trigger list is a list of items to help me remember things that I might have forgotten. And this is, for example, when I'm doing a brain dump, and I need to remember what are all the things I need to do this week or this month, I will go through this list. And there are some of them are questions for myself. Some of them are just prompts to remind me of certain areas of life. So for example, what am I worried about? What am I waiting on? What am I avoiding? What am I praying about? What are my family schedules like? What's going on around my house? Is there anything to celebrate? Is there anything related to my health? Is there anything that's broken and needs to be fixed? Or is there any paperwork? Is there anything going on with my puppy, my husband, my children? So these are just areas of life, questions to ask myself, and just going through this list will bring things to the front of my mind that I may have forgotten. And I want to get those out of my head on paper and safely tucked in the right place in my planner system. Maybe it's in my future log, maybe it's in my to-do list for the week ahead. Maybe it's just out of my head, writing it down. I don't need to do anything with it, but the fact of writing it down gets it out of my head and I don't have to think about it anymore. So a trigger list is a powerful tool for me. It's how I make sure that I haven't forgotten anything important as I head into a new week or a new month or a new quarter or even a new year. Speaking of brain dumps and trigger lists and reoccurring tasks, I also use a monthly brain dump page as one of my most functional pages in my planner system, no matter what planner I'm using. And you will see in every month I have brain dump where I have a list of things. Some of the things I will do, some of the things I will not. Sometimes the list is really short and sometimes the list is really long. But every month I take the time to write down my brain dump for the month. I bring things forward from the previous month. I cancel things out. I get them done. Once I have them captured here, I may bring them over to my weekly plan and put them in my to-do list, or I may forward them to the next month, put them in the future log somewhere. But the point is that I take the time to capture all of those items for each month. This monthly brain dump page is so important to me as I'm headed into a new month, it really helps me focus on what needs to get done this month, what's not that important this month, what can I push off, you know, what needs to be a top priority, I got to get it done right away, really helps me prioritize the month. You could do this on a weekly basis or a quarterly basis or even a daily basis if you've got a whole lot going on. But brain dumps are a really important tool for me, very functional tool that I use every month. All right, and then the other functional tool that I use personally is my meal plan. I have a meal plan by month, and you'll see, like, here's the completed meal plan for the month of April, and here's the completed meal plan for the month of March. It is really helpful for me to be able to see meals on a monthly basis. I love to go back to old planners and look at the monthly meal plan and pull ideas. So for example, if I'm in a rut with family dinners, I will just go pull out a previous planner and look at the month of April or May and see what were we eating and loving at that time and give myself new ideas. So that's another little functional page that I find really handy that I set up in every planner. All right, so those are my top 5 functional pages. They're going to be in every planner, no matter what type of planner I'm using. I'm always going to have those 5 pages set up repeatedly. They help me manage most of the aspects of my life. And with those 5 pages, I can make sure I'm getting the right things done and prioritizing appropriately. I would love to hear from you. What are your must-have pages? What are the most functional pages or aspects of your planner system? Share that with us so that we can maybe consider incorporating it into our own planner system. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give me a thumbs up and let me know. Subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. And as always, thanks for planning with me.